The girl is horrified to realize that while she was unconscious, the doctor may have assaulted her, but the doctor seems to read her unease. He tells her it was just a hallucination from the anesthesia. Back home, Kitty is a wreck. Terrible images keep flashing through her mind. She's terrified. She's certain those weren't hallucinations. She can't accept what happened to her. So she goes to a different hospital for another examination. The doctor there quickly finds something wrong. In that moment, Kitty feels completely hopeless. The police arrive at the hospital. The report confirms she did have sexual contact, but there are no signs of violence on her body. The images in her head won't stop. No matter how she explains it, the police struggle to believe her. After all, this doctor has practiced in town for over a decade. He's known for his charity work. Still, the police do their duty and open a case. Kitty isn't just dealing with the assault. Even her own family doubts her. They accuse her of being after the doctor's money, but Kitty holds firm. If the police can just get the doctor's DNA, it will prove everything. It's not that simple. An officer tracks down the doctor, but it's clear these two go way back. The doctor can't believe his own patient would accuse him. To clear his name, he walks the officer through what happened that night. Kitty had gotten into a huge fight with her boyfriend and accidentally cut her finger. While the doctor was treating the boyfriend, Kitty stormed into the hospital screaming. To keep things under control, the doctor gave her a sedative. When the officer mentions providing a DNA sample, the doctor gets even more upset. He calls it an insult. Then he says he's too busy with patients and tells the officer to come back later. The officer interviews a hospital nurse who backs up the doctor's story. He also confirms the details with the boyfriend. Meanwhile, the doctor quietly draws a vial of blood and has the nurse label the sample. With no officer present to supervise, the doctor hands the sample over himself. The police run the comparison. The DNA doesn't match at all. The officer shows up at Kitty's school and announces the results in front of everyone. Now the whole school knows Kitty falsely accused the doctor. Her reputation is destroyed overnight. She can't understand how she went from being the victim to being the one everyone looks down on. Desperate to clear her name, Kitty goes to the police chief. She doesn't trust the results and questions the entire process. The chief calls the officer.
Can you give me the name of the nurse who took the blood sample, please?
We're talking about a really busy man here. He's got the healthcare of the entire town to deal with.
It's clear he didn't follow proper procedure. They return to the hospital. This time, the chief personally asks the doctor for another sample. The doctor agrees without hesitation. He has the nurse draw blood right there. Afterward, the doctor approaches Kitty and asks her to stop making false accusations. Word spreads through the entire town. People don't just think Kitty is a liar. They start harassing her online. The second sample comes back. Still no match. Since the chief supervised the whole thing this time, he no longer believes Kitty either. He suspects she has ulterior motives. Kitty doesn't dare push any further. If she keeps at it, the chief will charge her with filing a false report. Kitty goes to the supermarket heartbroken. Strangers glare at her. The cashier refuses to serve her. She has no choice but to leave. She locks herself in her room and completely falls apart. Her father can't bear to watch her suffer. He decides to move the whole family to another city. In her new surroundings, Kitty starts therapy, but the images in her head never fade. She still believes the doctor did it. After months of treatment, she finally starts to improve. Her father hopes she can move on. Life seems to get back on track. Then one day, Kitty brings up the doctor with her brother. He tells her he thinks she's lying. When a neighbor girl asks Kitty's little sister why they moved here, the sister says it's because Kitty did something wrong. Those words cut deep. Kitty decides to fight again. She goes back to the town alone and asks the police to reopen the case. They tell her it's been closed. Without new evidence, there's nothing they can do. She hires a private investigator at great expense to put the doctor under 24-hour surveillance. Then she tracks down the doctor's assistant, hoping to uncover something. The assistant brings medical records from the hospital, files on girls who were admitted but never came back. Kitty is sure something is off. She visits the girls one by one, following the addresses on the list. But the moment she explains why she's there, their faces change. These women have prominent reputations and happy families now. Not one of them says a word. Meanwhile, the PI gets into the doctor's office posing as a patient and manages to collect an oral swab. He runs the comparison, but the saliva is contaminated with adhesive, and the results are inconclusive. With no other option, Kitty steals a lip balm from the doctor's car. This time, the sample is a perfect match. Kitty takes the report to the police. The officer has doubts about how it was obtained, but she gives Kitty one more chance. They bring it to the local prosecutor. The DNA match is confirmed, but since the sample was obtained illegally, it can't be used as evidence. The doctor doesn't refuse the police's request for a legal sample. His lawyer makes one thing clear. If this third test still doesn't match, the police can never bother the doctor again, and Kitty will have to publicly apologize. They're brimming with confidence. The doctor cooperates fully. Under proper legal procedure, the police collect the blood sample and rush it to the lab. The result shocks everyone. Still no match. And this time, the process was airtight. Kitty doesn't trust the police. She's convinced the doctor is behind all of it. She confronts him, but his lawyer threatens her life. Seeing the smug look in the doctor's eyes, Kitty breaks down completely. She has no idea where things keep going wrong. That same night, the doctor goes to the hospital, claiming he wants to check on patients personally. But he walks into a specific room. He sees a woman asleep inside. He slowly pushes the door open. The next day, the police get an unexpected break. A young woman walks into the station and reports that the doctor assaulted her. The police are caught off guard, but the problem remains. There's no evidence. The prosecutor asks Kitty to identify the doctor in court. With 2 victims now, they can escalate from a civil case to a criminal one. The new victim is the woman from the hospital room the night before. She has only hazy memories. There's no physical evidence of assault. The police arrest the doctor anyway. This time, the forensic team skips the blood draw. They take an oral swab and hair samples instead. The doctor is visibly rattled. The lab runs the analysis. The samples finally match, but a match only proves contact. It doesn't prove Kitty didn't consent. The trial begins. Kitty takes the stand. The defense attorney goes after her hard. Faced with the evidence, the doctor stops denying the relationship. He claims it was consensual, even says Kitty came on to him multiple times. As for the fake blood samples, he has an explanation. As a prominent doctor, he says, he's constantly surrounded by admirers and often has personal items go missing. To protect himself from anyone trying to frame him, he injected someone else's blood into a tube implanted under the skin of his arm. Every previous sample the police drew was someone else's blood. He says he did it to keep bad actors from taking advantage of it. Kitty doesn't back down. She speaks from the heart, and her words move everyone in the courtroom. Finally, the jury delivers its verdict.
On the charges of sexual assault, administering a noxious substance to commit an assault, guilty.
After an entire year of fighting, a year of never giving up, the doctor is found guilty and sentenced.